any thoughts on what's going on in the Bitcoin space, and I'll tack gold on there as well. Just any thoughts on Bitcoin or gold, because a lot of people look at them in similar lights.
Yeah, I'd say I'm no expert in crypto in general, but we have focused a little more in Bitcoin because people, hold it out there as it's a store of value. It's digital gold. It's the new gold. So I think we're at where the rubber meets the road, where, if we get a downturn and we have these economic situations where that should be good for gold, well, it should be good for Bitcoin. So I'm very excited and curious to see how Bitcoin will perform because it hasn't been through a full economic cycle yet. So if it does perform like gold, well, then it really is digital gold. There's also a catalyst of, there's a bunch of vehicles, ETFs trying to get approved to own Bitcoin. So if that ends up getting through, if there's a new, SEC chairman replaced and he's more, he has, he approves some of these things that were stuck in limbo, that could be a new source of buying, push Bitcoin up. But I think right now, yeah, it's kind of been tough for Bitcoin because the headlines with FTX going down and all the fraud in the industry definitely hasn't helped. Bitcoin has been holding up, but gold's been holding up a little better. So we'll see when the Fed starts cutting rates and gold really starts getting a bid, which usually it does. We would want to see Bitcoin right there with it to say that it is that new digital gold.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. And I think that you're right about Bitcoin in the period of time that it's really been more in the mainstream. I mean, sure, it started in 2008, but it's been mostly on the backdrop of this lower interest rate environment and asset prices kind of pumping. We'll see. I think it's been, I've been pleasantly surprised, I guess, this year. I know it's pulled back some, but with just the onslaught of continual rate hikes, earlier this year it was on a tear, but then again, it was down to like 15,000 or whatever it went down to. And then it was all the way back up. It had doubled in price. But I mean, I think if it can hold steady in this range, when things change from the Fed perspective, it's probably got some room to run. I think the same for gold. Certainly with Bitcoin, it feels like there could be another big leg down, especially if there's like a recession type event or the looming credit event that everyone's talking about on Twitter. But man, it seems like just how mature the asset is. I feel like at some point it's going to pump again. I think there's a lot of people out there that think the same way.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually what gold does. If you saw in '08 as a perfect example, when the stock market was crashing, bonds were crashing, everyone's nervous, everything goes down. So gold went down. But then you have this point where the cost of money is falling because the Fed is cutting rates to stimulate. That's really good for gold. And so gold then went to the moon. And so you probably get that again. So there's no way to avoid a drawdown in gold. Bitcoin probably, would have a leg down if stocks are going down a lot. But if it works like it should as a store of value, if we have record budget deficits, which is very good for gold store of value assets, and then we have rates falling because the Fed is cutting to stimulate the economy again, should be great for gold, should be great for Bitcoin. So want to see that.